here, the Juicy Whip Studios. Make sure you guys download the show on iTunes, iHeartRadio. Subscribe there as well. Also on Stitcher Radio. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And follow our Instagram at Sportscast. Post some funny shit up there, so check it out. I love how I've got the AARP club in the house tonight, so big shout out to
Screw AARP.
to my fellas over here. DC just rolled in, so got a big shout out to my boys. What's going on, fellas?
AARP.
I want to kind of turn the camera that way, and I want to show everyone what I got in the house right now.
Can you turn this up?
Can you turn this? I can't. My headphones, they sound a little low. Sound like that whistling guy on Family Guy. Yes, come my bedroom. Back here, got a lot going on. We just got, I think that was the most golf talk knocker we've had on our show in a while, man. That was good, though. The Masters was good. A lot of golf talk. So, playoffs are going on again. We got the Kings coming up here. We're going to get to our NHL playoff predictions. But I want to talk some football now coming up. If you guys want to chime in, 626-208-9040 is the number. I'm going to talk some NFL draft. Got some Odell Beckham news. Got a couple trades going on. So, knocker. I know everyone's tired of his ass. Well, you know what? I don't know if he's found Jesus or not, according to Ray Lewis. So we're going to have to get into that.
Ray Lewis?
Yeah, Ray Lewis. So, knock, let's break it down. Here we go. DC, your headphones working? You're good? Okay. That's your new name, okay? DC? Can you put that?
Well, you got to pull the mic to your
Get up
lips,
on that
man.
stick. Get up on that stick like you own it. Oh, I got him down. Go ahead. What do they call you? Go
Board
ahead.
operator.
Dr. Dan.
Dr. Dan. All right, Dr. Dan.
So it's DD.
DD. All right, DD. All right, well, let's get into it now. We got the NFL draft. We had a good conversation going on outside,
Yes,
and I
we
wanted to
did.
bring it into here because we got a lot of people that know a lot about football in this room, especially have to do with the USC and potentially number one pick in Sam Darnold knocker in the NFL draft coming up. A lot of quarterbacks. It's flush with quarterbacks this year, and statistics
You know what,
show,
but
knocker, that maybe there's maybe one of these quarterbacks will hit. Maybe one will hit when it comes down to it. When we talk about Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield,
Right.
Allen from Wyoming. You got the kid. From UCLA, there's so
Jackson,
many of them. Rosen, and then you got Darnold
Lamar
from USC.
Jackson.
Yeah, and Lamar Jackson. So,
Well, you say it's flush with quarterbacks, but is it flush with quality quarterbacks?
Nah.
Just the fact that there's a lot of quarterbacks.
I think it's flushed with prayers because
I think
all
it's
these
flushed with a
organizations
lot
that
of
are
hope.
picking, they're
Well-
hoping that they're that one out of
Yes.
five that's going to potentially hit.
There's a lot of teams that need a good quarterback.
There is a
a
lot
problem.
of teams that need a good
And there's not-
quarterback.
There's not
you
a
don't
whole lot of
just
them out
step,
there.
but you don't just step right into a new offense coming out of college and expect to do well. You're
Right.
going to have to sit behind the clipboard and take some notes and have somebody school you in the way the game is played because the game is so much faster and everybody's a number one that you're
Now,
playing
my
with and
argument
against.
just to that would be, well, if I was arguing the other side, would be, well, what about Andrew Luck?
Or Dak
First year
Prescott.
came out, led his team to a crappy team at that, carried them to an AFC Championship game against the New England Patriots. We didn't have anything. He's playing for an owner that's a drug addict guy that carries around, pounds of money in his car, and he was able to do it. That's just, I'm saying, on the other side, there is
are
the guys that
those.
can do it. John Elway can step right into
There's
it.
always
those guys.
one.
There's-
Pres- Prescott.
Generally, it doesn't
Dak
work.
Prescott. You look at the guy for the Eagles, Carson Wentz,
Right,
stepped
Carson
right
Wentz,
in.
right in.
There are
So-
exceptions, though, to every rule.
There
Right,
are
that's
exceptions
right.
to every. So I think that these organizations are thinking that Darnold is that exception.
Well, based on his performance in the big games last year, and I am a Sam Darnold fan. I'm a
Uh-huh.
USC fan forever.
Right.
But based on his performance in the big games last season, I have to believe that maybe another year under his belt would have given him an opportunity to mature just a little bit.
Yeah.
Now,
Couldn't agree with
that-
you more.
That remains to be seen.
Yeah.
And we all agree that when you come out and you're going to be one of the number one or number two draft picks, you're going to wind up with a team that really doesn't have an O-line to protect you. So,
Well, when they're waving millions of dollars at me, and potentially next year I'm going to play, maybe guy rolls into my leg, fourth game, and my career's done. As a person that wants to, potentially have money set up for my children's children when I'm getting paid that money,
The guaranteed
there's a
money.
lot
Sure.
as a college kid, and maybe a guy that's not coming from money, maybe not a Drew or whatever, the Rosen kid that comes from money, kind of from UCLA. I need to do that, for my family. And there's a lot of pressure from family as well. Dan, you're a USC guy as well. Are you upset that Darnold's leaving as USC guy? Do you understand that he's leaving? What side of the fence do you lie on when it comes to Darnold leaving?
Always would like another year. But having said that, my concern is, just like you say, you put a guy in there and all of a sudden you just spent millions and he gets injured. Some of the teams look at it like, well, there's another one coming out next year, so get him in there and play. I always like the extra time so they realize, hey, this side's collapsing. I need to get rid of the ball. And in college, they get rid of the ball and they still make a completion. In the NFL, it's an interception or the guy's getting crushed, and that's what you can't have.
I mean, it's always ideal is to have a great quarterback, and then you're bringing in the new guy behind him for a year or two or three, and the other guy's retired.
Like an Aaron Rodgers situation,
Right.
bringing behind Brett Favre for 3
Right.
or 4 years, and he hits, you know.
But a lot of these teams don't have that
They can't-
situation.
right.
They got to get somebody who can play now.
The fan base is pissed. We're
I mean-
sick of losing for decades if you're Buffalo
the
or
Rams,
if you're Cleveland.
The Rams had perfect example. Man, they didn't have anybody ahead
and
of
they
them.
hit.
Right.
And I'm not, and I don't think necessarily Goff is making them win the way they are. I think it's a combination
He
of
has the right coach.
McVay
It's always a
having one of the best
combination.
running backs
He
in
has
the
the
league,
right
having a
Yeah.
great defense, and then
But he's good enough right now
Right.
for that team.
for that team.
in
Well,
that
I'll
offense.
I'll tell you what you have with the Rams, and that's a bunch of players who are not necessarily well-known players, and they've all gelled as a team, and that's the name of the game. You can't go out there with 2 guys and win a ball game. You need 11. You need 22 guys to win a ball game on both
Right.
sides of the ball.
Right.
I see
So,
a lot. I see a lot in the Rams. To your point, right there, I see a lot to the Rams, and am I no way comparing the Rams to New England Patriots?
No.
But I think what you're saying, in my mind, because I see the same thing, is you got a lot of players who may not have been stars with other teams, but are still hungry. They still want to play. You've got a decent quarterback. If you don't ask him to do it all by himself, he can get things done, a la Tom Brady.
Yeah, watching
I think they're
Dominic
trying
Sue
to
come
build-
over and
I think they're trying to
dominate.
build the same thing in LA as they did as they are in New England. You know, McVay coming from the East Coast, to where just give me players who want to play. I don't need stars. Just give me players who want to play.
Well, you need people that'll do their jobs. That's
Right.
true in any business, right?
True.
I mean, if you're
Yeah.
playing ball and you do your thing well, and the guy next to you doesn't, now you have to double up. So
Yeah.
now you're not doing your job well, and he's not doing his job
It's in every
well, and that's
sport.
right.
Thank God this show's not
That's
a
the
business.
idea.
Wow. Oh, see, Steve-ism. I'm captioning that one. I'm captioning. I'm gonna get him a ding. Yeah, I'm gonna get him.
Wait,
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean
Yeah.
this is a bit?
Wow.
You told me I was going to get paid.
Wow.
Wait, turn this mic off.
Your glass isn't empty, is it?
You got your pizza. You brought your own wine. You're done.
You're just cheaper than you thought you were.
Right? Now, Paul, I have 2 questions for you. Okay, you're a GM.
That was funny, Steve. I'm gonna capture that. I'm not gonna let that go real quick because that was funny. I'm gonna give you credit.
You're a GM
Okay, go
in
ahead.
this year's draft, and you have the top pick to grab any of the 5 quarterbacks that are on the market. Who are you picking?
Tough one.
I should have some of the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music ready. Do you want to phone a friend? Do you want to phone a
How many
friend?
lives do you have left?
No, the first thing is how much it's going to cost me.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a GM, right?
Well, yeah,
Well,
but I
no,
mean, you're going to
the
pay
quarterback-
a lot for any
No.
of these quarterbacks.
Not really for the 5-year contract.
Okay,
The
well,
first
you're one of the 5 shittiest teams in the league, so it doesn't
Right.
matter what you're paying them.
they aren't paying a lot
You're
for
going
him.
to try and build a,
Not after Sam
a
Bradford. He was the
team
last
around
one.
one of these 5 guys. Who are
I'd
you gonna
have
take?
to think about that for a little bit.
Okay, question number 2.
I'd go. Well, wait. I'd go with Rosen. And
I
the
didn't
reason-
ask you.
I don't care. Have I ever cared?
He's got a mic. He's got a mic.
I
If you don't
wanna
want
make
me to
this
talk,
our
take the
permanent
mic
show.
away.
We need
Take
to
the
have you
mic
guys in
away,
here. I
and
love
I'll
this.
stop.
God, I
no,
love
but
you.
Rosen, because he's kind of the prototypical size
I agree with you.
that they want, and had a little trouble with the team that was under him. He would be worth the risk, in my opinion.
Now, does it bother you that he just came out in his last interview and said, yeah, he loves playing football, but it's not like he has got to go back and work at McDonald's. Like, he knows he's got money, and he knows that, yeah, if it doesn't work out, that's cool. And that just kind of bothered me that he said that, because I feel like, yeah, he plays football and he's good at it, but it's not
Is he
my
committed?
love. Like, it's not my love. I'm not going to sit in the film room and study all the time, and he's
And
had
I
that
say
injury.
and I say bullshit because look at he's there playing. He got his ass kicked at UCLA. He was
Right.
getting dropped
I think
like
that's a
crazy.
cover.
He,
So, Dan,
he
you
didn't
would draft
he didn't
him
walk
first, huh?
out. He's still there.
Yeah.
He loves the game. He's
So
just
you're going with
playing.
Rosen. I agree
playing
with
tough
you.
guy.
I went the same way.
Yeah,
If I'm drafting, I'm drafting Rosen.
If I'm risking the
He's the
money,
most ready.
You're going to go more of a prototypical. He would fit that, but also by the same token, he's going to go into the room and study for his team because they're not going to allow him not to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you the other one I really
Speaking
get
of the
a
mic,
kick
Dan. Why aren't you yelling at him?
No, he is. His voice carries.
I'm sorry.
Oh, me and you are going at it after on the next break.
Can you talk into the mic? I couldn't hear
We're,
you.
we're going Conor McGregor and a bus on the next break. I'm just saying.
I'll be Mike Nazi for the show.
shithead.
That's cool.
But the other one I really get a kick out of is when you watch Hard Knocks and the way they cut players, and players go in and they go, sorry, it didn't fit our model.
Wish you the best. And
right, and it's not the way it used to, where a guy throws down the notebook, and I'm not doing that. Oh, hell with you guys, and
it's on video now.
I'm gonna come back, and every time I see you, I'm gonna stick
Yeah.
it. It's not that because. One, it's video, but
Yeah.
two, okay, that's not their last shot. And
Right.
the last thing you need is a good recommendation. They go, hey, you know what? The guy really worked his fanny off
just
in
wasn't
camp,
for
and
us.
It didn't fit our game.
50% of the NFL did not get drafted. They're just guys that came out and they made the team or came out of some unknown school. It's just, it happens. And some of the best wide receivers, the best quarterbacks ever are from no-name schools.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know?
my next question to you is this: since you're new on the show,
He's pointing at Paul.
I'm just, I'm
yeah.
just going to keep at you because you're a cornucopia of knowledge. And no, this is
guy.
how this. Is
What do you
great how
want to
this-
blow him after the show too?
No, but this is how the show
It-
works.
it
It's
depends
called proper respect.
You have your stupid millennial point of view.
Ah!
Okay, I have the perfect
Wow.
baby boomer point of view.
Wow. Oh, you do? Really?
Paul has
I have the AARP point of view.
right? Exactly.
AMAC.
What do you
Love
think
it.
about these guys that are not playing in the bowl games? It started with a couple, and then there's a little bit more, and it's going to grow into a thing.
Well, this is good talk.
What
It's
is
Too much
your-
money.
What is
I
your
understand
opinion
it.
on
I
that?
don't like it.
I think if you're a team player, you're a ball player, you play.
Bang!
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
more interested, and if you're more interested,
I disagree with Paul.
If you're more interested
It's 'cause you're millennial. You guys are
in
idiots.
yourself, and you have to understand, in football, you have 10 other guys around you. That's what makes you great. You're not a one-man team.
Yeah, but
And for
Paul,
you-
I come from the slums, and me getting drafted in the top 5 is going to set my family up
Booby
who's got
Miles.
from no money.
Booby Miles.
And I don't want to play in the Credit Union Bank Bowl sponsored by Fritos for nothing because
84th
if I
bowl.
get my knee blown out and then my shot is done. Do you see
I
that side
think-
of the fence?
I can see that side of the fence, but I think it also measures the quality of the player.
I
think
agree.
that same guy.
I will give
if
you
he
that
gets,
point.
If he gets into the season and feels, number one, he's not getting enough playing time,
Right.
or maybe they don't have a chance to make the playoffs, then all of a sudden he says, "Well, I'm going to save myself for next year."
I just think if I see a
I-
guy
that's
that's
bullshit.
balling for
Character-
11
it's a
games,
character thing,
that
and I
Frito Bowl
totally
doesn't
agree with
matter.
you.
That
Yeah,
Frito Bowl
you know-
doesn't matter. I've
yeah,
seen
but
the guy
it-
ball for 11 games out of the year, and because his team sucks around him, and he's from whatever North Carolina State, and they go whatever 6-6 knock, and they get in a crappy bowl. Why am I gonna?
Right.
I'm not showing my lack of
The school isn't-
integrity to the school.
The
I'm
school
looking
isn't
out-
showing any integrity
Yeah.
to you. They're just taking the money.
Right.
You,
But
you talk about the players going for the
missing
money.
You're missing the real point. When you interview players and you ask them what do they miss most, the teammates.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's the key. They let the
Camaraderie.
team go down without them if they lost because they weren't on the field. Now, with that, I would say a lot of this started when they started interviewing high school players that are coming out. We're going to have a press conference. Really? Accomplish something first, then have a press conference.
Right?
Yeah.
To what school
Okay.
you're going to?
Yeah.
I will say if there were 6 bowl games, I'm up with Paul. But when you got 36 bowl games, I think if you're not in the orange, the sugar, the Rose Bowls, I wouldn't jeopardize
But
my career
I'm
on
going to
it.
disagree with you on this point, and I'm old school like you. I came into this with you. I sweated with you. Okay, you're not as good as I am as an athlete because I'm going to get drafted and you're not. But I'm your brother, just like the Army. I'm your brother, right? We went through all
We're
this.
talking about $20 million.
I don't care, Steve-O. I don't care.
20
Thank you,
million.
Steve.
I don't
I
care.
know.
I-
We're like, I'm
I
senior,
fucking do.
and we're just
I know
shaking
you
it.
do.
Yeah, and my mom, who lives in the slums of Baltimore,
Right.
does.
I know you do, but I'm with you. we're gonna go out together. If I get hurt, I get hurt. I could have got hurt in 19 other games with you, and this is your last game. And if we lose because I didn't play, and that's your last
But the game
memory,
doesn't mean anything.
No, it does to the other
No, it
32
doesn't.
guys.
But with
It
the
means
money-
to the school because the school's been getting millions.
Okay, so-
Yes,
Fuck the
yes.
school.
Hold on,
I
no,
don't
no.
care about the
the game
school.
doesn't-
That's the
the
only
game-
reason a bowl
that's
game
part of the-
exists.
If
When
the
you
game
look
doesn't
at-
mean anything, then why have a winner or loser?
Right.
Thank you.
Why not just go out? Why not just go out and scrimmage?
Thank you.
But
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
The game
Bud
means something.
knocker.
It
when
doesn't.
You,
The game
when you
means
have-
something.
So
doesn't.
with you.
But
There,
when you
there's
have-
something to be said for winning,
Right?
and there's something to be said for participating on that winning team.
I agree with you.
And I think that anybody that turns their head, any player that turns his back on players that he's been with for 1 to 4 years, is doing an injustice to
If
those
it-
other
if
guys.
it really-
Dan, you're
And
gonna
I think-
so we take a vote. What's the vote right now? Are you Dan? Because you two are on the same
Here,
side,
let me-
right? You and
let
Paul.
me throw, let me
Knocker?
throw a quick point in
Okay,
here.
go ahead.
Okay,
I'm in
and
the middle.
And the point is this: that the schools make so much off the bowls,
I
they could
understand that.
insure
Absolutely.
that player for
Thank
one
you.
game.
Absolutely.
So
It
should
would
they
not-
do that?
Yes.
Okay,
Do that.
I
You
think
want
that's a
them-
good
They
idea.
should insure every goddamn senior.
Okay,
But
if
even
you're,
if they don't,
That's not-
I'm still
you know.
playing the game. I'm sorry. I'm still playing
That's
the
great.
game.
You do it. You got,
Okay,
everybody's
so-
got your
okay, vote.
opinion.
So
Because
me
you know
and
what?
Steve
To
don't-
me, and I may be an idiot, and that's probably why I've lost 2 houses and I'm broke. I may be an idiot, but
I try to tell
your
them.
memory of me when I look you in the eye 10 years from
Okay,
now.
fuck, I've got
I
3
want
houses
you to
and
look
I'm-
me in the eye and say, "We did this together,"
Uh-huh.
and you didn't back
Yeah,
out on
Steve,
it.
you know what we did? We made
Absolutely.
$60 million in our career
Absolutely.
because we came out when we were supposed
that's-
to,
and that's
we didn't
fine
play in
for
that
you.
game.
No, you know what I say,
That's
Dave?
fine for you.
I say, Dave, yeah, you're right. We had a 6-6 season, and we played
That-
some
I- I
stupid
don't-
ass
I
ball
don't-
game.
I don't
Right.
care if we didn't win a game.
Yeah.
You made an interesting
I don't
comment.
care if we
you
didn't
said,
win a
You
game.
said you made $60 million theoretically,
Yeah.
and you came out when you were supposed to. What do you mean when you were supposed to?
When it
what
was-
what
when-
dictates when you're supposed to?
When I know that I can get drafted in the first round, in the top 50, if I'm a top 10 player, if I know, and people know, you know who if you're a top 10 draft
Right.
pick or not. The guy from Penn State, the running back, knows he's going in the top 10. The lineman from Notre Dame knows he's going in the top 10. Those guys, yeah, I'm coming out, and if I'm Notre Dame and I finish in 8-6 and I'm in that bowl, F it, because I'm with Steve.
Yeah.
I'm going to get drafted top 10, and I'm not showing any
Now-
lack of integrity or any, I guess, whatever sportsmanship to my team because I'm not playing in that game.
me, you
Sorry.
If it's one of the top 4 bowls, because I'm old school, Rose Bowl,
I
Sugar
agree.
Bowl, Orange Bowl,
Yes.
those mean something.
Right.
They have a meaning behind them, not just.
But the beef
you know,
jerky bowl
El,
don't mean
El
shit.
fucking Paso Bowl, you know.
Yeah, it
All
doesn't.
right, you're the tiebreaker, Dan.
No, so you are. 'Cause
Play or no play.
So
player
I'm-
no play, Dan.
I'm-
Because you're
I'm-
tiebreaker here.
I'm sorry. This comes down to a simple fact. If you're a real man, you'd play.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
I'll
That's
drink to that.
settled. Okay. Well, we'll move on. I like it. Okay. Let us know on Twitter. Again, tweet us at Real Josh Pacheco, at Bud Knocker.
I'd rather be a rich half a man.
All you podcasters, I want to know where you stand. I want to know where everyone stands.
No,
on this.
nobody,
Well, you have-
nobody walks
you-
around
That's
after the
fine.
NFL.
you have half that statement correct.
Well, David, let me tell you this. I was a wrestler in high school, and we went 65-0, so I know about being on a winning team. I know exactly what that's about.
Okay.
But
All right.
I didn't have anybody offering me $20 million bucks
but,
either.
Did you
well,
go
let me
first
ask,
round?
Let me ask you this.
Did you go for
Okay, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
You had a full ride to college riding on your last wrestling match.
That-
At the same time,
You're not talking into the mic.
Knocker,
It pisses
knocker,
me
knocker.
off.
You're
Title
You
IX.
talk sideways.
Title IX.
Yeah.
Nine, right? Oh my God, Paul! You just Title IX.
I want you, Knocker.
Fucking A.
Knocker.
Fucking A, Steve. You just Title IX your
That's all
ass.
right. I can take
Okay,
it.
but let me ask you this.
I want him
Okay?
to grab the mic.
Let me ask you this: Temple City, if you win your final match, right? Temple City
The
wins
team or me?
No, the team
Yeah.
wins CIF.
Yeah.
In which case, you obviously win the individual title also.
No, it didn't work that way. Go ahead.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just put it that way.
Yep.
If you wrestle in the last tournament, right, and you win your matches, and it's all dependent on you and the other guys that Temple City wins the CIF for that season, or the possibility of you
No,
getting...
then I'm playing because it matters. It means something. It's CIF. It
Wait a
means
minute.
something.
But everything means something.
No,
No, it
doesn't.
doesn't. No, it doesn't.
The El Paso Bowl
Yeah.
means shit.
The Pro Bowl doesn't mean shit, Knocker. That's why most of them don't play in
See,
it.
that's you're wrong.
No, what do you mean I'm wrong?
The
It doesn't
fact-
mean shit.
The fact that you put that jersey on makes it meaningful.
They can all afford a trip to Hawaii, and now it's even in
Whatever.
Orlando. Fuck that. I'm not going to Orlando.
Me and you, Paul,
We're
we
going to
got this
fucking
right.
Orlando. Come on.
Right.
All right,
Right.
Knock.
No more tailgates for bowling.
All right.
You know what? That me first permeates into every aspect.
Yes,
of,
it does.
of sports.
Thank you.
It's the money.
There-
the
there's-
money
there's
talks.
a situation which I hate to even remind people of police officers not rushing into a facility to stop a
Yes.
shooter
Right?
because he was nearing retirement. Now,
Right?
come on.
Right.
What the hell?
Yep.
Your
Yep.
job is your job.
Right?
Okay?
You
Yep.
signed up.
That's true.
All right, Knock. Well, let's move on here. Moving with Odell Beckham. He's been in the news
That
the
was
last
good.
few
I
weeks.
like that. That was good.
Got your blood going, didn't
I
it?
want to have all you guys on the show all the time. This is
Right.
fantastic. Knocker, now you got Odell Beckham. We talked about him last week. He's been in the news on the trading block, potentially for the Giants here. Some Rams seem interested, but it kind of seemed to fizzled out here. It looks like he's going to stick with the Giants. But Ray Lewis, future Hall of Famer, great linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens, came out and said the reason Odell Beckham is having problems, Knockers, because he's lost his way with God.
Yep.
Now let's just see what.
But he knows
old-
where he came from, family-wise.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
so
for a
let's see what
born-again
old
guy
Ray
to
Ray
say
had
that,
to
that's
say
pretty
here.
normal.
No, I
Dan-
like what he said. He's trying to be a mentor.
Oh, they blocked the video from it. Okay,
Dan, there's a cooler right next to you with beer in it. Could you grab me a
so do you
beer,
do you think
I heard the
Is that
interview,
why I'm
and
here?
I liked it.
you liked
You're the
it?
bitch. See?
Because he's reaching out to the guy, trying to help
Saying
him.
I'm not calling you
No, the
out, but
cooler.
I'm going to call you.
The
Right.
cooler.
And he
You
has
know?
called him.
Yes.
And Beckham hasn't followed through on his what they agreed upon.
I really don't
So-
think he's going to be. I think he's just going to fall. I think this is falling apart for Odell.
agree.
I really do. I
I
think he's
agree.
going to fizzle out here.
Odell Beckham's
Yeah.
a perfect example of a guy playing for himself, not
Thank
for
you.
the team.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's why he's had such a tough time trying to find another team.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Nobody
But
wants
none
to take
of
the
them
chance
are
'cause
team-
he's a disruption in the locker room.
There's
okay?
too much
You don't
money.
see it on camera. You don't see it on Sunday afternoons. But that guy is a disruption in the
Yeah.
locker room because he's a me first guy.
I agree with you. I feel the same way. They had a bunch of knocker. Des Bryant had a meeting with Jerry Jones today. Same kind of
Right.
personality wise. I've been talking to a bunch of my Cowboys fans. We're done with. We're as Cowboys. There's a lot of Cowboys fans who are just done.
NBA
He's
for
eating
Christ,
money.
the
whole league is
players,
that
the
way.
players are
my
controlling
God.
everything.
Oh,
now.
no, NBA is controlled by. That's a
Right.
whole
So,
separate
I mean,
topic.
a whole
thing.
when you
Yeah.
when you give that much money to any player, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree
Right.
with you. Now,
you're
Knocker.
going to have these
I'm with you
problems.
with Des Bryant. I told you that 3 years ago.
Yeah, he can't catch the ball. He can't do anything right now. It's bad. Now, another bad situation, Knocker. This 2018 offseason for the New England Patriots, an organization normally known to have
Right.
it all locked up,
Stability.
suit and tie, everything's hush hush. It's in-house. We do it the Patriot way. Well, the Patriot way seems to be burning a lot of bridges, Knocker. We've seen it being burned
Yes, it
bridge
does, and it's
with,
really
with
weird
Tom
how
Brady.
fast it happened.
They've let go about 5 of their big offensive pieces, Knocker, now with Amendola, who's a huge target for Brady last year. They got rid of the running back as well, Lewis. Got rid of a lineman as well. They don't have a backup to Tom Brady right now. And now you've got reports of Bill Belichick openly mocking Rob Gronkowski in front of his teammates for using, Tom Brady's trainer who he's had problems with. How bad do you think this is getting for the Patriots at this point? And does Rob Gronkowski leave after this year or before this year? And where do you see the Patriots organization in 5 years from now?
Exploding, imploding.
I see them exactly.
Can Belichick fix this in Kraft? Can they fix this?
No.
This is not unlike any other of the teams, though. Look at the dynasty that Dallas had for a number of years.
Right.
Look at the Pittsburgh dynasty that they had for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the 49ers for a number of years.
That's
Okay,
a good one right there.
of course, and everything's wonderful, but keep in mind that all of these veterans get older, and they hurt a little bit more, and it's harder to get started. And you have young kids that want to take those positions; they're nipping at their heels.
I
And so what happens? What happens then is they lose a game, like the Patriots lost the Super Bowl this year. Business is wonderful as long as business is good. When business is bad and you start losing, the finger pointing starts. It's your fault. It's your fault.
Right.
It's your fault, and it's
And I-
happened to every single team.
I think the only thing I would differentiate the Patriots from all those other teams that you mentioned in the era of free agency, they've been able to get rid of the veterans before they're too old.
Before too
Right?
late, yeah.
They jettison the guys that are a little too old, that don't heal fast enough, and they get guys to replace them from teams that haven't performed well, but these guys are good players, and they want to win. And they've been very good in this era of free agency of keeping guys for 2-3 years very productive and then just letting them go. But I think the House of Cards has it's not a House of Cards because it had a great foundation, but what has happened there is a lot has happened at the same time, and it's a little out of control. Belichick, he's won for so long, maybe a little complacent. The players there, Gronkowski, Brady might be a little tired of him. The stalwarts.
I'm not having fun anymore.
The base of that team is now starting to crumble a little bit.
And for the first time, they don't have a backup. That's the thing. They don't have anybody.
And there's a little disarray there. And I think
do they trade up? Put the mic in front.
It's under your chin, dude.
I think they're going to crumble.
There you go.
I think Gronkowski is gone.
Yeah,
I do think
so.
if they don't trade him, I think he asked for a trade because if that's what he did and dissed him in front of the team for going with Brady's trainer, then he has to go.
Well,
Gronkowski's been the linchpin of 4 Super Bowls for that guy, and for him to basically come out.
Yes and no. He's also been hurt a lot.
But has he performed in every playoff game in
when
Super
he
Bowls?
plays, he performs.
Enough said.
No question.
When he plays, he performs.
Enough said.
And I think that the Patriots' time is going to come. But there are reports, Knocker. There's a report that came out today that they are looking to trade up. They're looking at Lamar Jackson. That's who they're eyeballing because they have that 23rd pick in the draft.
They can get him.
And they can probably snag him because he probably will go that late. And a report came out today, Knocker, the Browns, which I think they're going to take Darnold. That's what they should do. What everyone thinks they're going to do. But now
they never do what they should do.
Right. There's a report here. There's a report here though with the Bills though because I think they have the number 4 pick if I'm not mistaken.
Right. They're right up there.
They're looking like they might trade with the Giants to jump up to number 2 now. The reports are to grab Allen out of Wyoming. What are your thoughts on this guy coming in, another quarterback from that school you don't think of, a non-name school just like that Carson Wentz?
Yes.
Big arm. They say this guy can throw 80 yards.
They say he's a sleeper, man.
Yeah, he is.
Okay,
but plays in a division in football. You don't really know how good he is. Also, these quarterbacks, how do they translate to the NFL? What are your thoughts here on if the Bills want to get him? Especially cold weather, real quick. Cold weather with the Bills. You got a guy with a strong arm that can wing it in November, December when it's fleet snow. We've seen those games in Buffalo. You got to be able to fling it.
I think A, cold weather is a plus if you're drafting a quarterback. B, I think the playing field is so level now. I don't really think it matters what conference that you play in anymore. If you're good, you're good. No. What the best quarterbacks in the NFL? They all come out of the freaking MAC.
Yeah.
They all come out of small conferences. Name me big school quarterbacks in the NFL right now
that have really done
who are
well,
superstars at a big college, a Pac-5, a big 5 college, who are superstars in the NFL. There's none. Name me one. I beg you.
Carson just retired.
Right? Okay, USC. I'm a great fan of Carson Palmer. But go through the league.
Yeah,
give me
you're
the
right.
quarterbacks and tell me one guy that played at an elite college.
Well, you can maybe call Cal with Aaron Rodgers, but that's not really an elite football college
that's
where you're going to get a quarterback.
But that's not an elite school.
But you look at you bring up a good point.
Give me the conference championship.
If you look at Alabama, Florida State, Texas, you got no quarterbacks. Quarterbacks that fizzled out.
They all fizzled out. Yeah. So if I'm looking for that guy, here's what I want, and again, I think you're going to agree with me. Here's what I want, and that's why I was a Carson Wentz proponent as to him being the best quarterback. I want a guy that's humble. I want a guy that's had to fight. I want a guy that hasn't had everything handed to him. I want a guy that has the tools. Yes, you need the physical tools. You need the arm strength. But I want a guy that's committed to his team, to his school. He's not looking for the money. The money's going to be there the money's going to be there.
Thank you. Bend it up so it's
the money's going to be there if you perform. Okay? So I want a guy that works, studies, has these things. That's the guy that I want. That's a quarterback that's going to take me. Exactly. That's the guy that's going to take me to the Super Bowl. Right? That's Tom Brady. Okay, Joe Montana was good at Notre Dame, but he did the work. He was small. He had to do the work. The guys that have all the press and all this usually don't work out. Yep. So I think it's a plus to be that guy.
Well, we have a good. I want to take another poll here. We've got a good set of guys with a lot of football knowledge. Now we're the GM guys. Let's put ourselves there. We got the first pick of the NFL draft. Let's just say we are the Cleveland Browns. So we're the GM of the Cleveland Browns. You know what we got, right? Who are we picking? Who are you investing in right now to go? For me, it's Darnold. I'm picking Darnold.
But I think he's trade bait.
Yep.
I think they pick him.
Trade him. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think they pick him, and then they trade up.
Not bad.
Somehow. Yeah.
Yep.
Not bad.
For the guy that really wants him.
Get 2 for 1, 3 for 1.
Because they have the 1 and 4. I believe they have the 1 and 4 or the 1 and 5 pick.
They could.
They want Barkley too. They need a running
and they
back.
could trade for next year too. I mean, they get a
That's
pick
true.
next year. So
if you're the Browns, you have the 1-1 pick, Paul. You're going to pick Darnold and possibly flip him.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, Dan, what are you doing?
I would flip if you got 1 and 4. You flip both of them and go for next year, and then come in and try.
But the thing is, next year, who do you have? Like, there's not even.
You know what? There's going to be more guys coming out next year that are going to have the same hype as the guys coming out this year.
None of these 5 guys are worth it.
If you want to build a team, do you have a guy who is someone you can build the team around right now? I don't think so.
Okay.
It's not the guys I'm looking for. I would flip and go next year and then try and go.
That's a good point.
Maybe next year I get 1, 4, and 6, and guess what? Now I got a shot at really putting a team together.
So I'm with Darnold. I take him first. You're going to go with none of these guys are worth it. Paul's going with maybe I get Darnold and I flip him for something better. Steve, where do you sit on the fence? If you're the Browns and you got the number 1 pick right now.
My problem with it is you got to look at your offense and your scheme and who you got around you.
Right.
What quarterback's going to fit that the best.
Right.
And I don't know enough about the Browns right now.
Well, let's just say they've got a weed-smoking wide receiver, and their best offensive lineman just retired. So, I mean, they're still in that building process.
Right. So a the best quarterback.
Steve, but you can't
is
back
not
that ass up. You got to make a decision. You're on the clock. You've got 2 minutes. You got to make a pick. It's the NFL draft. What are you doing?
I'd probably pick like the numbers 2 or 3. And hopefully he works out.
Or who are you taking?
Nice decision.
Okay.
That's why the Browns are the
Guys,
Browns. Because you're their fucking
you're the fucking
That's right.
GM over here.
And I'm a wrestler. I don't know a goddamn thing about
you're
football.
Over here. Bonk token Steve over in the corner can't pick his team. He's like, oh.
We traded number 1 pick because we just can't figure it out.
Now you know why I'm a salesman,
I'm
not a
trying to save
GM.
my
We're going
job.
to Taco Bell. When do we pick next?
Shit, man.
You know what?
Gotta
You
make a decision,
you can have a great.
Steve.
You can
You're
have a
on
great.
the clock. Roger Goodell comes up to you like, no, to give it 2 and a 3.
Problem is, Goodell would understand that.
Right? I got you. I'm with you on
I'm
that.
with you on
I
that.
might get a phone call tomorrow.
Knocker, what do you finish it off here on the round table? What do you got?
If I'm the Browns,
Number 1 pick.
I'm with him because I really am not sold on any
He's
of
with
these
me?
quarterbacks.
No,
coming
he's
out.
with Paul again. Oh, he's
Paul.
actually with Paul in this.
If I'm trying to sell butts in the seat and that's all I care about,
Well, you're the Browns.
I'm drafting Darnold. Okay.
Well, what are you? No,
I
it's not
am.
if what you're doing. What are you doing as the Browns? You were
if I
just
am-
given the job.
I'm trading
what are
my
you doing?
best
Okay,
pick
I-
to someone who's going to hire me next year. That is my
Okay.
main concern, and that's all
Where's
I'm
my
focused
job
on.
gonna be
Where's
next
my
year?
job next year? Who do I trade my number 1 to?
I will fail.
My
That's a
last-
cheat.
I'll
That's
follow
funny.
him.
That's
My
funny.
last pick was Johnny Manziel at quarterback, and that
Yeah.
worked out really well.
Yeah, sure did.
I think I can trade down.
Yep.
And I pick Josh Allen
Okay.
because I think that team needs somebody freaking stable. I don't think they need the Josh Allen. Rosen.
Or,
Even though I think he's the best quarterback, I'm not sure how good of a team player he is. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to draft him because I made mistakes in the draft.
Okay.
I think the most solid guy that I can develop into a pro quarterback is Josh Allen, and I trade down, get some more picks, and pick him.
Okay. We're going to get to break here. Knocker, we got shot of the week coming up here. So let's get some shots for the men over here. I like this. We need to have this round table more.
I like it. This
I
is
like
good
it a
stuff.
lot. I like it a lot right now. We got a lot coming up. We got viral videos. We're going to talk some MLB baseball. How about showtime for the Angels, man? Kid's a stud. 3 home runs, 2 wins.
show.
He's looking good. Talk some baseball. We got NHL playoffs. Kings about to drop the puck here against Vegas.
Yeah,
Game
baby.
1. We'll talk
Love it.
NHL playoffs coming up as well. Drunk of the week, Knocker. We got maybe the winner of 2018 so far.
Really?
Drunk of the
Already?
week. Yes.
So
And-
do I do song of the week? Do I get?
yeah, what do you got for
the
song of the week here?
week? Okay.
Give me the song first, then you explain. You got to give me time.
We're still on perfect songs, right?
Yeah, perfect songs.
Okay, so
You've already given us 2.
we have this crowd here, and I'm going to go with the chairman of the board again, man. I'm going to go with My Way with Frank Sinatra. It just cannot be done better. It's just a perfect song with a perfect guy singing it, and what else can you say, man?
All right.
Get lost in it.
We'll be back after this. Get your shots ready. Shot of the week on the Sportscast.